Congratulations. And commercial banks, the best social media, Zenith Bank, First Bank, First City Monumental Monument Bank, GTB, GTCO, and Access Bank. And the winner is Zenith Bank. Best social media, commercial banks, Zenith Bank. Zenith Bank. Congratulations, Zenith Bank. Yeah, so we call the Honorable Minister, please come. We are going to see the final, this is the best digital, the final award we have in the categories. Please come and help us and give these awards. That's the best in each of these 10 sectors. The overall best for each of them. We call it Best Digital for 2024. So we go back to the aviation sector where we put together the social media, all the touch points, the overall best for 2024 in the aviation sector. The nominees are Airpeace, Ibom Air, United Nigeria Airlines, Aero Contractors, and ValueJet. And the winner is Airpeace. So Airpeace is overall winner for this year in the aviation category. Anyone from Airpeace? Okay, please, let's skip that. Microfinance Bank. The nominees for Microfinance Bank. Okay, Airpeace. Okay, please bring for Airpeace. Welcome. No problem. Congratulations. Microfinance Bank, the overall winner. Nominees for Best Digital are Kuda Bank, Microfinance Bank, VFD Microfinance, LACO Microfinance, MoneyPoint, and Advance Lama Microfinance. And the winner is MoneyPoint. MoneyPoint. Overall winner, Microfinance. No one? Please. Next. Federal Parastatals. The nominees are Central Bank of Nigeria, Bank of Industry, Nigerian Ports Authority, NIMASA, and FAN. And the winner is Bank of Industry. Bank of Industry. Overall winner, Best Digital Federal Parastatal. Insurance companies. The nominees for the Best Digital, Leadway Assurance, Absa Mansard, Salam Insurance, Veritas Capital Assurance, and ICO Insurance. And the winner is Leadway Assurance. Leadway Assurance. Anyone from Leadway? The next thing, oh, Leadway is here. Please, Leadway. Congratulations. FinTechs, Best Digital for FinTech. The nominees are Paga, Entaswitch, Piggyvest, Flutterwave, and Hydrogen. Payments Services Limited. And the winner is Interswitch Limited. Interswitch Limited. Interswitch Limited. Congratulations, Interswitch. Merchant Bank. Best Digital Merchant Bank nominees are Rand Merchant Bank, FBN Quest Merchant Bank, Coronation Merchant Bank, FSDH Merchant Bank, and Greenwich Merchant Bank. And the winner is FBN Quest Merchant Bank. FBN Quest Merchant Bank. Anyone representing FBN Quest here? None. Let's move on to state government. The nominees for the overall best digital for state governments are Akwa Ibom, Edo, Kwara, Ekiti, and Adamawa. And the winner is Akwa Ibom. Akwa Ibom. Congratulations. And telecoms. The overall best digital for telecoms nominees are MTN, 9 Mobile, Globacom, and Airtel. And the winner is MTN. MTN Nigeria. Overall best winner, telecoms. Betting. Best digital betting. We have Bet Niger, Bet Winner, MS Sports, 1S Bet, and Betway. And the winner is Bet Niger. Bet Niger winner. Best digital betting 2024. And finally, commercial banks. Overall, best digital commercial bank 2024. Nominees, Guarantee Trust Bank, Fidelity Bank, First City Monument Bank, Access Bank, and Polaris Bank. And the winner is Access Bank. Access Bank. That's the best digital 2024 in the banking category. Access Bank. Congratulations again, Access Bank.
So to properly apply corporate governance, an individual should understand the trend of emerging technologies and impact them on the market and customer demands, regulatory issues, and new risks which these new technologies bring. They must constantly conduct skill and competence assessment for them to ensure they possess the capacity to deliver on the objectives on the going concern basis. Constant innovation. The future of business is being constantly rewritten as we speak. To stay ahead, small business must master creative thinking, agile execution, adapt fast moving and scale taking, prepared fire innovation by leveraging the high capacity of large organization and incorporation the best practice of small ones. An entrepreneur can create a healthy, sustainable environment that will impact on this best practice. Now, I don't want to take much of the time, like we agreed to just make a 15 minutes remark, but I have done a paper that we can speak through so that you can appreciate where are we coming from. How is it possible? By what means could it be that a young man with third grade education could create an institution today in Nigeria model that thrives not only in Nigeria, but we do business today in Ghana, Gabon, Cote d'Ivoire, Sierra Leone, and recently acquired a company in Japan. Successful people play by the same rule. There's no way it could be possible by doing things in my village form of doing it if I do not leverage on the understanding of playing by the role and allow corporate governance to drive this organization and submit myself to superior reasoning and follow the principles that have been laid before now. And this is where many self-made people found it very difficult to be able to build an institution and create an organization that will not only, play its role, but outlive them. And then I will be willing to take your questions.
Thank you very, very much, Dr. Maduka. What he didn't mention is that I'm sure that when you hear Coach Charis, many people will think that he's selling cars. But Coach Charis Group has 9 subsidiaries in different farm, technology, this one, that one. Of course, I'm not the owner of Coach Charis. It's better for him to list the subsidiaries that he has founded. But my first question, Dr. Maduka, is, with a very good definition of the meaning of entrepreneurship, and what you said with regards to good governance has been the fulcrum for your most commendable success. Can you briefly touch on the key challenges that you faced, that have been faced by entrepreneurs in Nigeria, and do you think that internal corporate governance is a key challenge?
Okay, frankly speaking, if you ask me where the role of corporate governance in starting up a little organization, I will simply say, if you are starting like ground zero from like the way I started, that should not be an issue, because there was a time I was the managing and managing director of my company, the backward and forwarding agent, the accountant general, the research manager, the sales manager. Because with 200 naira, the first question is, who will you pay salary? You need to pay yourself first of all. So you need to take off at that level. But the truth is that if you are going somewhere, it must be clear in your mind that this is a prerequisite. And where your skill lies of being a true entrepreneur is the ability to make that corner when the time comes. Somebody have asked me, at what point in your business will you do that? I told him it's not written anywhere. You need to, work with your instinct. First is when you have been able to build enough capital, because nobody is coming to help you. You can't hire people from bank or different organizations to say, please come and help me. You need to be willing to pay him. If you can find the cash where you can begin to attract the best brand. And the second thing is that you must agree with yourself that you are going somewhere. And if you are going somewhere, it must be clear in your mind that you need the right kind of people who possess this requirement to be able to help you structure in the place. Therefore, you must not be egoistic. That's number one. If your ego is what rules you, you can never have proper corporate governance in your organization because you must submit to the rule yourself. When you get those experts, you share as the core entrepreneur, the real job you have is to share the fire burning inside of you to these best people that you have brought together to help you take the organization to where you want to go. And these are experts who will want you to, not micromanage them, set the rule and let them play in it. You submit yourself to the same rule. Agree what the budget would be transparent in everything you are doing, including account transparency. A lot of self-made people always believe we can save more money by not opening up, getting the best of the best in their organization. Costaris could not have been where he is today if those things matter to us. That today we are audited by S & Young. They've been with us for the last 10 years and we are moving to other higher. So many people shot themselves on the leg by not willing to follow this rule. Where you are willing to play by the rule, by trying to shrink back and cut corners, you will not be able to go. So corporate governance is about holding yourself accountable, about believing that by following this laid down principle, you will ultimately be able to take this organization to where people should take it serious and be able to compete in a structured manner that can help you build an organization. I don't know if I'm answering the question, but let me try to make it a little bit short. In simple words, the self-made people find it very hard, especially people with results, to submit themselves and believe that following the rule of corporate governance will take them to where they want to be. But I will tell you, you will earn money, have a house in Ajegule or even in Ikoyi, drive BMW or Rolls Royce, but you will never have an institution or an organization if you fail to play by the rule of corporate governance.
Excellent. Thank you very, very much for I told you that this would be the best, plenary session. I'm sure you are agreeing. I'm sure, Lucy, you come second, not. So, I met a man came for a program in LBS recently, and he gave me his card. And on his card, I saw president, founder, CEO, chief operating officer on one card. So I now asked him, how long have you been running this organization? He told me 25 years. And I said, are you able to do all these things together? He told me that he suffered to start this organization, and it was from his sweat. So he has to be sure that everything is going well.
Yes, sir.
But interestingly, it's the same thing that Dr. Maduka did when he started. That he was accountant, CEO, everything. So my question to you, Dr. Maduka, is when did you listen to the council to start introducing advisory board, having a full board, delegating other authorities to people by having maybe CFO, CEO, COO, as the case may be? And what are the benefits of good corporate governance? What has it been to your organization?
Very simple. Today, we work with great institutions like BMW, Rolls-Royce, Jaguar Land Rover, Ford Motor Company, first-class institutions of the world. Just imagine, would they have ever talked to me if I continue with that trader mentality of owning half of Lagos, but there's no structure, no system, no process in organization. So it all starts with the visionary. Where does he really want to be? You know, and that's one of the reasons why I said that quite a number of people shot themselves on the leg, because refusing to play by the role, you think you are saving money, you think you are doing something better, but it's like a man who wants to run and take his 2 hands and tie at the back. How far can you run? Your body needs to move and swing. I started that same way. Everything you have in that paper, I did. But it was clear in my mind that if I need to go far, it wasn't somebody advising me. I worked for my uncle, and I knew how not to run the business the way they run it. And that's one of the things when we talk about innovation. Like I said, everywhere you have been in life, in all honesty, it's a school. It's about whether you have the mental attitude to learn. We are in a school now. For a lot of people, this is not a school. No, you need to learn. So, having worked for my uncle, I knew how his business would have grown. The industry that gave back to me is this industry where in the first 7 years, the man grew up and become a champion. But by the 8th year, when he settled his first boy, the man is going down, and you never get to hear about him anymore. The same thing will repeat from the boy who took over from his boss. He goes up. By the time he settled his first boy, he starts going down, because they are not willing or understand to follow this rule. So when we started this business, I said, look, this is good model. How I wish the man who started this, at the time my boss was giving me 200 naira. I said, how I wish he would have told me I own 5% of the company and give me authority to run that company for him. So we could put system and processes to grow. He would have still be the majority shareholder, and all of us would benefit. But he gave me small capital. But when I started building up, I knew clearly that if I need to be where I want to be, change this industry that gave back to me, I have to be innovative. When money starts coming, I've said it before, I start hiring people not still at the level of the quality of staff we have today. Then was that if you have gone to school and you can, add up, you enter a cage and you are an accountant. So, you are an accountant, that's it, you go. But we need to get to another level. When we really made the move that changed was when I felt, when people are actually thinking, those people that start with me actually believe I have arrived and this is the way to settle. But this is when now I got experts. We hired KPMG for them to come to our organization, and they mentioned so much money they are going to be paid. Wow. It was like, do I really need these people, or do I really take this first as my profit? But because I was determined to go somewhere, and they really have a discussion with me and find out where I wanted to go, and shared with me what I need to do to get there. It was difficult. But this is how to make a change. If you don't make that change, you will not make the quantum leap that you require to do. So I had to call this guy who started with me. Everybody who run around me, whatever I do, they endorse it, one-man ranger champion. And everybody like everything I'm doing. Whatever I say is thus says the Lord. Nobody question my thought. But I want to create an organization where people need to challenge me, and so for me to invalidate the objections I have, where best brain can thrive. So I called them, I said, look, something is going to happen. We are bringing a consultant into this company, and I will want you to think about what the consequences will be. If they come and interview you and felt you are not good, you will leave. All we will pay you is your entitlement based on what we agree. But if you volunteer to leave, we will pay you 2 years of your annual salary at the same time so that you can start your own business. You will be one of our distributors. Because this is the most difficult thing for one-man organization to do. This cost me over 400 million naira about 40 years ago. It was a big weight, but I knew I had to make this turn if I'm going to go places in the business. Actually, quite a number of them felt excited and threw in towel. But there are some people we think contribute very much. We say, this thing we're talking about has nothing to do with you. You are not among the people we are talking about. But that was how I was able to ward off quite a number of the people and then start bringing in the expert that we require that will help us take the business to another level. What I really brought to table was my dogged determination and core competence of parts of internal combustion engine. Because that was in university I went. So, and if anybody don't give me credit, I graduated with distinction in that university. But to take it to a level where people will take it serious require these actions. That's when we started hiring people from bank. Some of the remaining people that used to be here with us felt, is your head correct? What are you doing? These people come here, I have meeting every minute. They're having meeting, drinking tea. We have built this organization. Why not continue the way we are? But these are people who are ready to polish my shoe. And then I started getting people who ask me difficult questions, put me on my toes. One time, when we hired Josiah Samuel from Broadbank as assistant general manager, and he said something, I said, please do what I tell you to do. He wrote a memo and said, please override me. Nobody have asked me to do that among the staff. I say, override. I don't want anybody to challenge me. The thing didn't work out the way I expected it to. Whenever such memo ever come to my table, if I don't read it that day, I keep it for the following day. It's a process. In a very simple way, to really imbibe, corporate governance is a catalyst that takes you to where you want to be. Whether as an individual or in a small or medium-sized organization or even in a country as a role, if you are willing to hold yourself accountable and play by the rule, submit to authority, there's no limit to where it can take you. In Nigeria, where it is today, the way the world is looking at us is because even in the government sector that we are not ready yet to allow the rule of corporate governance to rule us and follow that principle. If we do, we will make a quantum leap that the world will be actually amazed at the level of acceleration of growth that will happen in this economy. So, the benefit of it is unquantifiable. It's just that it's a prerequisite you cannot do without it. If you don't understand it, you need to think twice whether you really want to progress in life or not. Because there's no other magic. You need to submit to the rule of corporate governance. It plays an important role that there's no substitute for it. Nothing else will take its place. Because otherwise, what are you doing? You are just there looking for who massage your ego, who is your best friend, favoritism. There's no standard, there's no rule, there's nothing people are looking forward to. There's no reward for merit. There's no clear goal and objective of where anybody wants to do. And that's what we do even as an organization or in a company or even in the government. And that brings us to where we are. But if we are willing to follow that rule, we will change this country under 8 years. I am convinced about it.
I'm sure we remember that if we go to some religious retreats and the pastor is preaching, some people will say, preach on, preach on, preach on, preach on. And that is what the message I'm getting, that the gospel is working and some people are being converted. But before we go to phase 2, let me invite the MC. As you are, let this one sink in small before we now go to phase 2. Because you know, I'm sure you remember Mike Ejai that people are dancing now. That this one is what they say, elephant naga nansogi nazo gwogwongwongwo. So this one, as you are starting this first phase, let's get other people that will join us for this panel. MC, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof. And it's clearly apparent that there is exciting energy in the room. And to further enrich the discussion following the chat with a very passionate speaker, we're pleased to welcome our esteemed discussants. Mrs. Yemisi Ironloye, Managing Director and CEO of Sultry International Limited, and Mr. Charles Odi, Director General of the Small Medium Enterprises Development Agency of Nigeria, SMEDAN. Their wealth of experience in entrepreneurship and SME development will provide invaluable insights into our conversations even further. So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming them to the stage as I once again yield the floor to the moderator. Please, let's give them a round of applause.
Thank you very much, the DG of SMEDAN and also the CEO of Sultry, Mrs. Oluyemisi Ironloye. Let me also say that there are not people that will talk much about who they are because their profiles are public knowledge. But let me just say something about Mrs. Yemisi. Last 2 years, I was invited as part of the team that will offer a retreat for the company. And when we went through and saw what she's doing with starch, cassava, in Oyo State, if I am a member of the people who normally give national awards, I think I will give her GCFR.